Good day and welcome back to another DBZ Dokkan battle video. In this video we are going to take a look at the Int Super Battle Road stage, and more importantly how we can beat the Int Super Battle Road stage using only free to play units. Now of course something to get right off the bat, so the Courage to the Max Goku or the LR Goku that you get from completing Super Battle Road, I'm obviously not going to use when I'm showing free-to-play units to beat Super Battle Road. It just doesn't make sense. To utilize him, a unit that you can only get after completing Super Battle Road, just doesn't make sense to use when you are trying to actually beat the stages themselves. So that's one thing I just wanted to get right off the case. But other than that, what we're going to be utilizing here is we are utilizing a friend GT trio. They are going to be the friend unit. They're going to be a large source of our damage. We then also have the Int Giru. That's who we're going to be using. We're using the Int Great Saiyaman unit. We're using the Int Gohan Teen and Videl. They're also a very solid unit that are going to be helping us out. Other than that, the team, in terms of free-to-play solid options, doesn't really stand out too much. There's a lot of variety that you can use. There's the Krillin that you can get from the Battlefield shop. We're going to be using Yardrat Goku. He's a very good unit. Nice unit to float around. Very solid, very tanky. Does a decent amount of damage. Really can hold his own as well. Brings a stun with him, which is incredibly good. Very good actually. So he is going to be another one of the units that we're using. We're not going to use him in rotation, so we're going to mainly be using the Gohan and Teen, or the Teen Gohan and Videl alongside the Great Saiyaman. That's going to be our main priority in terms of links. We're then going to be using the Yardrat Goku kinda as a floater. And then we're going to have the Giru unit connected up with the GT trio, just because that's kind of, okay, or generally pretty okay kind of, unit. Then we've got the Trunks. So the reason we're using Trunks is mainly because he's a debuffer, essentially. He's pretty solid as a unit. Obviously, he's okay in this stage if we get Android units, because of the critical hit mechanic that he has, which is obviously relatively helpful. His stats are okay. The thing is he has defense of 100%, so he's okayishly tanky. And in SBR we are most times going to be facing more than 2 enemies. So it is something that does play in, but he does lower attack and defense, and he does have a great chance of crit hitting when we are facing Android units. So that's kind of why I went with him, but you could pretty much replace him with anything, really. Android 18 and Krillin are a good shout out. You've got you've got the Martian Goku's a good option. You've got quite a few decent options. The Gotenks and Ghost units, they're pretty good. Like, there's a lot of Int free to play has probably the most decently diverse selection of units. Now of course, since we're talking free to play, since we're talking beating content with free to play teams, if you want to look at beating the stage without being free to play, I do obviously have my original guide to the video, and I will be doing no item run guides as well eventually, so you can take a look at those. So you should have like the 3 ways of beating the stage. Basically, you should have a free to play team, you'll have like an average team, and then you'll have like the no item god run team. So eventually I'm hoping people will have enough ways to kind of look at the stage to know exactly how to beat it in whatever way they want to and whatever way they can. It's kind of like the best method, I want to say, to understanding how you want to take on the stage. So Yeah, let's talk a bit more about the units though. So obviously it's difficult in the original Super Battle Road and in the first 10 ESBR to determine what unit you're going to face. You don't have control over that. So like sometimes you're going to be facing 2 units, sometimes you're going to be facing 3 units, sometimes you'll face 4 units or 5 units or 6 units. You know, it's not always set in stone. You're not always facing the exact same amount of units and things like that. So you can't really prepare for, oh, I'm going to be facing these guys, or I'm going to be doing this. So generally speaking, just rather prep your team as best you can and focus on bringing utility. Utility is your strongest tool set in any SBR, ESBR of any kind of difficulty, because that's where utility matters the most. Stunning, sealing, attack lowering, defense lowering. Like here, so this Great Sandman's an exceptional unit because of the fact that he brings that kind of attack lower, defense lower with him, which is obviously very, very good. So, like, if we just talk about him a bit more, because he's really a unit that I kind of want to highlight a little bit, just because he is really, really good. And he's a bit situational, but that doesn't mean he's not still very, very good. So his only real issue obviously is the fact that he has certain restrictions, but he's still an incredibly powerful unit. So he has attack and defense, of 158%. He has, 18% chance of performing a crit or evading an attack. He gains an additional attack and defense of 58% when facing an extreme class enemy, which is the entire time, that we are on this stage. And he also reduces damage received by 28% when there's a Pepe, Gals, or Youth category ally attacking in the same turn. So now, the thing is, he's not going to be able to fulfill that on this team. But, he still can, do very well. Like, he lowers enemies' attack and defense, he raises his attack and defense for 1 turn, and just for the most part, he's still an incredibly solid unit that does a lot of good damage. Him paired up with the Brave New Pair, very, very solid overall. Super duper units. They do a lot of damage and they thrive in that second slot, so having him in that first slot is very, very good for them. Gives them a nice platform to kind of push off and do really good work with. So yeah, they look very, very solid there. The next is Guru. Guru is okay. So he does need a hybrid Saiyan, which unfortunately the GT trio doesn't necessarily fulfill for him, but the floating units will fulfill that for him. He has a high chance of evading enemies' attacks, which is great. He has that additional Dragon Ball Seekers support, which is really, really good, and he has a seal, and that seal is something that's very, very solid. The sealing ability is going to be able to give us a bit of control that the team is lacking beyond the Yardrak Goku. The Yardrak Goku is where we get a lot of our control from. Yardrak Goku's ability to stun, his kind of ability to counter attacks, his critting chance, he brings a lot of utility to the team. Whereas you can look at someone like just pure raw damage in the form of the GT trio. And the reason we go for the GT trio is just because they are 100% super int lead, but they're also 177% Dragon Ball Seekers lead. And so they're going to help us out. They're going to give Giru quite a nice big stat buff, which is really good considering he's going to be a front-facing tank. And you can see that here. He gets the seal. Super duper helpful to get the seal. Very, very good overall. Then the GT trio, they get a very, very, very good attack set to follow up with, which just helps to eliminate someone. Basically, the GT trio exists to basically automatically delete someone, which is very, very good and does help out, overall. So yeah, very, very solid team builders. They do a lot of very good kind of production overall. They do a very, very good level of control. They provide good team synergy. I think for the most part we don't struggle. We don't like struggle to get a super attack. Maybe Trunks floating in the final turn, he can struggle a little bit, but like the team overall just doesn't necessarily struggle too much for anything. And so yeah, for the most part, very happy with how everything like went. Very happy with the team. Very happy with the damage. Very happy with the performance. I think for the most part, if I could change one unit, like I said, it would probably just be Trunks. I think the rest of the team works perfectly fine. Jack Goku, I really think brings a huge amount of like utility that we don't have. Is so reliable, just tanking in that final slot, and just does a lot of good work. So I, like me personally, very happy with Jack Goku. Super duper chuffed with him and how well he does. But yeah, for the most part, I think the team just ran really well, and I think as a team they just do run incredibly well, and I think they do a lot of good work. So yeah, I was very happy with the selection. I think there are small ways to improve it, but I wanted to try out Trunks, see how he did. Obviously, there is a chance to face Android units, and we did see that, but as a floater, I just don't think it's regular enough. Although, he is a relatively okay tanking option, so yeah, it's really not too bad. But we'll get the Dokkan attack here, which should finish off most of our of the units we're facing and everything like that. We should, be perfectly fine overall. So don't foresee us having too many problems. And yeah, that's it. So yeah, pretty clean run, pretty easy, pretty straightforward. Leave a like if you enjoyed the video, if you're enjoying the free-to-play challenge series, if you are enjoying the content, and obviously leave a comment if you have any queries or anything, or if you just want a reply or have something you want to ask me. But yeah, that's pretty much it. So as always, guys, thank you so much for watching, and I will see you guys in the next video. But until then, take care, stay safe, and I will see you guys in the next one. But as always, bye.